2:30 in the afternoon, sunny. Says they won't bite a frog. So I want to start with one of the bigger misconceptions out there in the world of bass fishing is, you got to be out there at daylight. You got till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever it might be. And then you've got in the evening, from 6 o'clock till dark or whatever it might be, that when you hit those time frames, that's the time to either pick up or put down your topwater bait, or in the evenings, pick up your topwater bait. And the rest of the day, you're wasting your time. I've done this long enough to realize that the best time to fish topwater, without a doubt, is in the middle of the day. I think everybody thinks it's morning and evenings, and that's the time to throw it. And I'm not going to deny you can have some great topwater fishing then, but I can honestly say, after doing this for 30 years now, that some of the bigger topwater fish that I've ever caught, and it seems like probably the most consistent patterns, are more in the middle of the day. Hard to beat a frog this time of year. 2:30 in the afternoon, sunny. Says they won't bite a frog. So let's think about mornings and evenings. Obviously, mornings, it's been dark all night, so the water's cooled off. You get that low light conditions and the fish are up and feeding, and they're aggressive. But what also happens that time of day is the fish are roaming around. They're a lot less predictable. You can't call your shots necessarily. So yeah, using a topwater moving bait is a great time to catch them, but it seems like it's very inconsistent, especially for catching your bigger fish. Same thing in the evenings. You get the low light conditions where, let's say in the middle of the day, bright sun, those fish are hunkered down right next to the shade of a tree stump, or they're under the shade of a dock, or right on a weed edge, where when you get to low light conditions, morning or evening, it just starts to expand where these fish start to wander around. And so where I'm getting at with that is, in the middle of the day, it can be a lot more predictable, because I've seen it numerous times, right next to a cypress tree or the shade of a dock. So as the day progresses and the sun gets higher, that area of shade gets smaller and smaller and makes it more predictable where those fish are located. There it is. Frogfish, smoked it. Nice, close to 3-pounder. That's the thing, everybody thinks frog fishing early in the morning, late in the evening, and I'll tell you what, I'll take bright bluebird skies any day, and what it does, it tucks them up in that shade, and that's exactly where that fish was. And the whole key is making it, sliding it in there, making a perfect little cast, and just usually it's the first couple twitches, and that's exactly what happened on that fish. So like I said, in the mornings and evenings, the fish are completely scattered out. And if you can fish a bait fast, yeah, you're going to pick up a lot of fish, but it seems a lot of times too, you're catching a lot of smaller fish. But as the day progresses, the sun gets higher, those key locations become kind of the key ambush spots for your bigger fish, and it gets more predictable. I've seen it so many times where, all right, the shady side of a tree or the shady side of a dock, all I got to do is put my bait there, and more than likely I'm going to have a good shot at catching those bigger quality fish.
There we go.
Right where I had one the other day. Yes. Yes. Dang it. Why did we not stay here? $115. All right. 115. We should have been here the whole time, apparently. But right where I had one to practice.
Hey, I want the record to show where my cast was right there.
That one's even bigger than the last one.
That was the stolen fish ever.
Boom!
And have one come, look at that.
Let's see. I'm guessing close to 5 pounds. Uh-oh, and Mason's hooked up. 415, Mason. 4.
Oh, trying to grab that one for you?
I don't need you to grab it for me.
Well, that is a good one.
Yeah, choked it. Look at that. Mason choked it.
I had a little one going to nip me right.
Choked it. Look at that.
That's a good one. He wanted it.
Don't fall.
4, 6.
4. See, you got to get that little line. See the little bubble there, right there. 4, 7. A 4, 7. What a beautiful bass, though. So in the middle of the day, you get the sun's high and the shade becomes more of a commodity, hot commodity for the fish, because later in the day, the fish are no different than us. They want to be in the shade. So it just kind of puts them tighter to the cover, tighter to the spots where they can be in the shade. And, that's why I like fishing, or that's why I think topwater can be best in the middle of the day. Some of the biggest fish I've ever caught on topwaters in the summer or in the middle of the day. So if you're out there in the middle of the day, or you get a late start in the morning and you think, well, it's too late in the morning to pull out my topwaters, don't think that. You definitely need to keep it in your arsenal. You need to mix it up, give it a try, because like I said, some of the biggest fish I've ever caught are in the middle of the day. So whether you're throwing a frog, a buzz bait, a walking bait, definitely try it and give it a chance in the middle of the day. And another reason for that is in the heat of the summer, bass have a high metabolism. They have to eat a lot to keep their energy going. And the other thing, they're no different than we are in the heat of the summer. If I'm out in the middle of a field and there's one tree out there in the middle of the field that provides some shade or a canopy, guess where I'm going to go? I'm going to go sit under that shade. So it gets pretty obvious. And it's the same thing with fish. So find your shade, throw your topwaters in those shaded areas, and I think you'll be surprised with the results. The natural honeysuckle, the wild honeysuckle, that's my favorite, but those darn roses are pretty darn fragrant as well. Come on, fish. This is a really good chance for me to get up a couple here. He's retying and
back here sleeping.
Could that's the crazy thing, the way these fish seem to be set up. Oh,
there you go.
Ouch. Little guy on a frog, but hey, it's just kind of any person's game here too, because they're just so random in it.
Yep. You can
heck, almost the two of us together can barely cover everything. Maybe I should put on the old buzzbait again.